Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Bo-Chen.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Van Chan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you a part of A Tale of Two Cities, Book the Third, Golden Thread.
Beth.
Al.
A Tale of Two Cities, Book the Third, Golden Thread. Charles Dickens. Chap. 8 hand at cards, sack 3. In as good stead tomorrow as today. But it may not be so. I unto you. I am shaken. Wiste. He may not have known of it beforehand, said Master. That's true. Wiste. Laurie acknowledged, with his troubled hand at his chin, and his troubled eyes on Carton. In short, said Sydney, this is a disparate time. When disparate games are played for disparate stakes, let the doctor play the winning game. I will play the losing one. No man's life here is worth purchase. Anyone carried home by the people today may be condemned tomorrow. And the stake I have resolved to play for, in case of the worst, is a friend in the consurgery, and the friend I purpose to myself to win is Misty. You need to have good cards. So, said the spy. I'll run them over. I'll see what I hold. Buster. Ori. You know what a brute I am. It was but before him. And he drank off a glassful, drank off another glassful, pushed the bottle thoughtfully away. Wiste. Barsad. He went on, in the tone of one who really was looking over a hand at cards ship. Of the prisons, a mystery of Republican committees. Now turnkey. Now prisoner. Always spy and secret informer. So much the more valuable here for being English that an Englishman is less open to suspicion of subordination in those characters than a Frenchman represents himself to his employers under office name. That's a very good card. Wiste. Barsad. Now in the employ of the Republican French government, was formerly in the employ of the aristocratic English government, the enemy of France and freedom. That's an excellent card. In France clear as day in this region of suspicion. That Mr. Barsad, still in the pay of the aristocratic English government, is the spy of Bit, the treacherous foe of the Republic crouching in its bosom. The English traitor and agent of all mischief so much spoken of and so difficult to find. That's a card not to be beaten. Have you followed my hand? Wiste. not to understand your play," returned the spy, somewhat uneasily. "I play my ace. Denunciation of Mr. Barsad to the nearest section committee. Look over your hand. Mr. Barsad, and see what you have." He drew the bottle near, poured out another glassful of brandy, and drank it off. He saw that the spy was fearful of his drinking himself into a fit state, for the immediate denunciation of him. Saying it, he poured out and drank another glassful. Look over your hand carefully, Mr. Barsad. It was a prayer hand then, he suspected. Mr. Barsad sold his ink cards in a destiny Carton knew nothing of. Thrown out of his honourable employment in England, through too much unsuccessful hard swearing throwing up because he was not wanted there. Our English reasons for vaunting our superiority to secrecy and spies are very modern. Tate knew that he had crossed the Channel and accepted service in France first, as a tempter and an eavesdropper among his own countrymen there, gradually as a tempter and an eavesdropper among the natives. He knew that under the overthrown government he had been a spy upon Saint Antoine and Defarge's wine shop, had received from the watchful police such heads of information concerning Dr. Manette's imprisonment, release, and history. I should serve him for an introduction to familiar conversation with the Defarges, and tried them on Madame Defarge, and had broken down with them signally. He always remembered with fear and trembling that terrible woman had knitted when he talked with her, and had looked ominously at him as her fingers moved. He had since seen her in this section of Saint Antoine, over and over again produce her knitted registers, and denounce people whose lives the guillotine then surely swallowed up. He knew, as everyone employed as he was did, that he was never safe. That flight was impossible. That he was tied fast under the shadow of the axe. And that in spite of his utmost tergiversation and treachery and furtherance of the reigning terror, a word might bring it down upon him. Once denounced, and on such grave grounds as had just now been suggested to his mind, he foresaw that the dreadful woman of whose unrelenting character he had seen many proofs would produce against him that fatal register, and would quash his last chance of life. Besides that, all secret men are men soon terrified. Here were surely cards enough of one black suit to justify the holder in growing rather livid as he turned them over. "You scarcely seem to like your hand," said Sidney, with the greatest composure. "I think the," said the spy, in the meanest manner, as he turned to Mr. Ori, "I may appeal to gentlemen of your years and benevolence. to put it to this other gentleman. So much your junior. Whether he can under any circumstances reconcile it to his station to play the ace, of which he has spoken. I admit that I am a spy, and that it is considered a discreditable station, for it must be filled by somebody. I play my ace. Wiste. I should have hoped. Gentlemen both, said the spy, always striving to look Mr. I could not better testify my respect for your sister than by finally relieving her of her brother, said Sidney Carton. The smooth manner of the spy, curiously in dissonance with his ostentatiously rough dress, and probably with his usual demeanour, received such a check from the inscrutability of Carton, who was a mystery to wiser and honester men than he, that it filtered here and failed him. And indeed, now I think again, I have a strong impression that I have another good card here, not yet enumerated. That friend and fellowship, he spoke of himself as pasturing in the country prisons. French. You don't know him, said the spy, quickly. French. Repeated Carton, musing, and not appearing to notice him at all, though he echoed his word. Well, I assure you, said the spy, though it's not important, repeated Carton, in the same mechanical way, though it's not important, no. It's not important. I think not. I am sure not. It can't be, said the spy. It can't be, muttered Sidney Carton, retrospectively, and idling his glass, which fortunately was a small one again. Can't be. Spoke good French. To be continued.